Hello, scholars. Today we're going to talk about the importance of having imagery, precise details, and descriptive details in our writing. So, what is imagery? So, imagery is using imagery in your writing, means writing tangibly with the five senses. And of course, we've all learned what the five senses were in lower elementary school, and that is your sight, your sound, your taste, your touch, and your smell. So, in order to determine what imagery looks like, we're going to talk about an example that has the same topic or the same situation, but we're going to talk about how that situation can be shown in writing that does not show imagery and that does show imagery. So, let's look at the example that does not show imagery. So, it says, at summer camp, we get to do so many things. We get to roast hot dogs. You can say roast and eat hot dogs. All right. And go fishing. I also like that I get to see some of my friends. Not bad, right? They are telling us we pretty much know what it's getting ready to talk about. It's getting ready to talk about summer camp. They told us what they get to do at summer camp. But was it really descriptive? Think about the five senses. Did it really show imagery? Did it tell you what they saw? No. Did it tell you what they heard? No. Maybe something they tasted. Said that we get to roast and eat hot dogs, but did it tell you how delicious the hot dogs were? How did the hot dogs taste? Were they charred or burnt? Were they, maybe you could talk about the sight, the color of the hot dogs. Does it talk about what they touch when they get to summer camp? Not so much. What about smell? Does it talk about what they smell? No. And I do want to point out, and I'm going to put up here, or down here rather, you do not have to use all five senses in your writing. That's being a little, you don't have to. That's being going a bit overboard. So you don't have to, but should you use imagery in your writing? Yes, you should. Definitely more than one. All right, so let's look at the same situation or topic, but we're going to look at an example that does use imagery. So let's look at this example. It says, stepping outside of my dad's car, I can smell the fresh air, a sign that I'm at my summer camp. As I looked around, everything I see matches my memory. There's a nearby lake where we go fishing. There's also a deck to walk on to enjoy the scenery. Glancing to the right, I see the smoke going up in the air, indicating that our camp director is grilling his famous hot dogs, and boy, do I smell them. While taking it all in, I hear car doors slamming with exciting kids getting out of the cars. Yes, I can feel it. This is going to be the best summer yet. Let's talk about how much more descriptive that is, because it talks about the same situation. It talks about summer camp, right? Talks about some of the same events that the first example talked about, but it's a bit more descriptive. Let's look at sight. Does it talk about what they see? Yes, look at that. As I looked around, everything I see matches my memory. There's a nearby lake where we go fishing. There is also a deck to walk on. I have them highlighted here. So let's look at where it says, and highlighted in yellow first, it says we get to roast and eat hot dogs. Look how much more descriptive this yellow is highlighted about roasting and eating hot dogs. It says, glancing to the right, I see the smoke going up in the air, indicating that our camp director is grilling his famous hot dogs, and boy, do I smell them. Glancing, I see, that's one sense. Boy, do I smell them. I can smell the hot dogs. I use two senses in one sentence. Let's look at what's highlighted in blue, go fishing. There's a nearby lake where we go fishing. The sentence prior to that tells me, as I looked around, everything I see matches my memory. So that pretty much is putting an image in your mind of what they see. And let's look at the green. I also like to get to see I also like that I get to see some of my friends. Let's look what's highlighted in green in the imagery section. It says, while taking it all in, I hear car doors slamming with it. What you can say with friends, let's change that. With my excited. While taking it all in, I hear car doors slamming with my excited friends getting out of the cars. Doesn't that sound much better or more descriptive than I also like that I get to see some of my friends? Then yes, I can feel it. This is going to be the best summer yet. All right. And the last thing we're going to talk about is what it means to be descriptive and why it's important to be descriptive. So, what does it mean to be descriptive? Being descriptive means being precise or exact with your language and your writing. All right, so let's look up here. I highlighted this in orange. Stepping outside of my dad's car, I can smell the fresh air, a sign that I am at my summer camp. Let's add a non-descriptive example here. I could easily say, I'm going to highlight this and put this down here. We're going to make this a descriptive. And then we're going to make this one a non-descriptive. All right, so there's again, the descriptive example says, stepping outside of my dad's car, I can smell the fresh air, a sign that I'm at my summer camp. Let's think about a non-descriptive example. I could say, I got out of my dad's car. Or you can say, when I got out of my dad's car. Let's do that. When I got out of my dad's car, I noticed, we were at summer camp. Now let's look at both examples. We're going to highlight that in red because it's not descriptive, right? Talks about the same thing, but the descriptive example is stepping outside of my dad's car, I can smell the fresh air. That's a sign that I'm at summer camp. When I got out of my dad's car, I noticed we were at summer camp. Doesn't it sound a lot more descriptive? Yes, it does. So remember, you do not have to use all 5 senses in your writing. So guys, today and every day, good writers use Today and every day, good writers use imagery and descriptive details in their writing. Why do they do that? Imagery and descriptive details help make our writing more exciting. It brings our words to life. And remember, just like you want to hook the reader with your beginning sentence, you want to keep your reader engaged or keep your reader hooked throughout your writing. All right, guys, happy writing. And then you come to me or your teacher if you have any questions.